All right, YouTube, what's up? Thought I'd do a quick video here. Actually, I'm going to do a series of them, and this is going to be my starting one. Forgive the primitive stuff here, but I just want to talk a little bit about safety. I live, breathe, eat it, ride every single day. Out of the last 4 or 5 years, I might not have ridden a handful of those days. And when you're a dad of three, you're like, when you're riding, you're not just driving defensively, you're driving defensively on crack. You are so aware. Have I ever taken a safety course? No, I haven't. Do I watch a lot of motorcycle crash complications on YouTube? When I first started riding again 5 years ago, that's all I did was watch crash videos. Why? Because I wanted to learn from them, learn from other people's mistakes. And I highly suggest that you do that. Google that and watch what happens when motorcyclists get in an accident. And 9 times out of 10, it could have been avoided by the motorcyclist, even when you don't think it could have been. I hear people all the time tell me, "Ooh, you got to watch out for the other guy. It's not you. You got to watch out for the other guy." Well, I hate to break it to you, but 90% of it is you. You can control your situation. I always tell people when I'm out on a ride, maybe 5% of that time is out of my control that something could have happened. If you take out the mechanical problems, like God forbid you don't want your kickstand falling down in the middle of a turn, you don't want your wheel locking up because you haven't checked the bearings on it. That type of stuff, okay, you eliminate the mechanical parts of it and you have a lot of control over what happens. You kind of create your own destiny. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about all that stuff and the head games and things like that, but as you're going through your ride. But let's really take a look at just the most common one that I think people make a mistake in doing when they're out riding. This is the first one. And it just gnaws at me that people say, I'll ask a guy, "Hey, did you ever ride before?" "Yeah, I used to, but boy, this one guy cut me off and I never rode again. It scared the crap out of me. I almost wrecked. This guy cut me off. This girl cut me off." Well, let's talk about being cut off, okay? And this is a real common situation where you might feel and think and want to think that you got cut off, okay? So here we have two cars, real simple. Again, this can't get any simpler than this. But here's a car, here's your motorcycle. Mine's red. I got my red F6B back here. So you're driving along and you come up behind. Let's say that you start here and you're coming down the road at a pretty good clip. These guys are doing, let's say they're doing 60 on the highway. You're 75, 80 is what you're trying to maintain. So you're coming up behind this guy and you come up behind him and you see him and he sees you. Great. Okay. This guy has a great opportunity to see you. All right. But what about this cat right here? All right. My motorcycle, 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds. If I floored it here, even in third, if I downshifted and went into third gear, how fast could I be right here? Okay. How fast could I be right here? Probably in about what? A half a second? If this guy comes over, did he cut me off? Of course he didn't cut me off. He never saw me. Motorcycles are fast, guys. You're not, that guy never had a chance at seeing you, okay? So no, he didn't cut you off. Don't say he cut you off. If you slam into the back of this guy because he moved over into this lane, it was because you weren't there a half a second ago. Quit saying he cut you off. He didn't cut you off, all right? I saw on the news a couple of months ago, this guy here in Charlotte, crotch rocket, did exactly that same thing. And all the news people were saying, watch out for motorcyclists. You can't cut them off. Don't make sure you don't pull out in front of a motorcycle. Well, guys, I'm sorry. That's not pulling out in front of a motorcycle. That's you being stupid and moving into a dangerous situation. Don't do it. Make sure you move over. Take your time. Oh, yeah, it's fun. Is it fun? To go, huh? Yeah, it's fun. Could it cost you your life? Absolutely. Especially if this car's up here a little bit further and you're trying to swing out and go around. Let that person know where you're at. And that's another thing too. Let's say that you're over here. Here's example two. Where do people ride when they want people to see them? I'm always thinking about that. Where are you riding at? Okay. I want these cars to see me. Let's say we're going down the highway right now. Okay. This is a 2-lane highway. And we're going down the highway and I'm approaching this guy right here. And let's say there's some cars in front of me too, but I'm approaching this guy here. Should I be over here on this side of the lane? Would that be very smart? Well, some people think so because if this guy starts coming over, then you got more of a chance to get over and get out of the way. All right. So that's one thought. I Googled it, I thought about it, and I talked to some people on a forum about it. And you know what the smartest thing I think is when you're riding down the road? Yes, it might be okay to go down here. I don't ever like to go down, I call it the muddle of the road, the muddle, where all the mud, all the crap is, okay? If you're driving along and you've got cars in front of you, you can't really see around those cars to see if the road's clear, especially on the highway, looking for those crocodiles, we call them, okay? You know what I'm talking about, the retreads, okay? You don't want one of those things. You don't want to hit one of those, okay? That could be the end of it. So I'm always sliding over here, depending where the car's at. If there's a car right in front of me, I'm trying to get over here or over here to always look down the road, down that highway as far as I can in front of the cars in front of me. And if I can't see far enough, I back off, okay? I want to be able to see any road debris. That's out of your control, almost. People say that's out of your control. Are you controlling that better if you're looking for road debris by staying to the left or the right of that car? Absolutely you are, okay? You're reducing your chances of hitting some road debris. And boy, I've seen some big ones. I came up one time, there was a ladder in the middle of the street. Thank God I was riding on the other side of the road. It was a 4-lane road, okay? A ladder had fallen off a truck, a work truck. So, again, just beware of your surroundings. But that right there is something that you have control of, okay? That you can look down the road. Now, back to my other example here. So where do you want to be at in this lane? A lot of people think about that. Personally, what I'm doing now, when I'm coming up, I might be on this side right here and moving along, but I swing into the middle and then back out to the left. Into the middle, back out to the left. And why am I doing that? I want this guy, I don't want to be in his blind spot. If you're over here, guys, there's a chance his rear view mirrors or side view mirror is not adjusted. He don't see you, okay? So I swing in and out. I'm moving back and forth and using that whole lane all the time. And if I can't see a car's, if the car's way over here blocking me from being over here so I can't see road debris up here, then I'm riding in this part of the lane. So be aware of that all the time on, can that car that you might be coming up to pass, can he see you? Are you giving him the best opportunity to see you? And how about the car in front of him? Is he seeing you? Okay. So what other stuff do I do? All right. Especially, let's say, for instance, you got a line of cars over here. And let's go ahead and draw another, get us another car up here. Rectangle. So let's put another car right here. Okay. Now you got 3 cars. Okay. And let's say that it stopped traffic over here. Okay. Let me reverse that. Let's say the traffic is, this traffic is stopped and you're moving along this side. And again, we pass, I know it's not, you're not supposed to really pass on the right side, period. But it happens. If you got a line of traffic stopped, and let's say this isn't a highway, it's a secondary road, and let's say this is the entrance to the highway over here. Well, you got people that are over here ready to make a left turn. Okay, these guys are just sitting here ready to make a left turn. Okay. I had a guy tell me that a girl crossed 2 lanes. There was another lane over here, so let's picture a couple lanes. Way over here the guy was, and this girl crossed 2 lanes and hit him. And he was crippled. He was still riding, but he couldn't walk, really good. Okay. So he told me that story, that's what happened. It didn't stop him from riding, but it could have killed him. Okay. So what are we doing when we're in that situation? When we're coming up on the line, we got a line of traffic lined up over here. What are we doing again to be seen? Are we just racing right along here and all of a sudden we're right here? How fast can we get from here to here? Pretty darn fast. If that person came over, did he cut you off? Well, you might think he cut you off, but he didn't see you 2 seconds ago or half a second ago. So in my opinion, no, he didn't cut you off. You weren't being safe. You were the one that was at fault. I don't care what happened and what a cop said. If you got hit, that's your fault. You weren't ready. Okay. So you're driving along. What do? Especially if I have a passenger. I drive a Goldwing. I love my Goldwing. If I had a Vulcan 900, I had a light bar in front of me, 3 lights in front with the brights on all the time if I was riding during the day. Why? Because I want to be visible. I want people to see me. Okay? Give people an opportunity to see you. These 3 cars are dead stopped, ready to take a left, going that way, and you're pulling up on this right-hand side. It's your obligation, yourself and your passengers and your family, to be as visible as you possibly can. So what do I do with my Goldwing? Hey, I'm happy. I've got flashers on that thing. Am I going to use them right then? You're damn right I'm going to use them. I'm going to put my flashers on and flick my bright lights on, and people probably get annoyed when I do it. If they're coming the other direction or they're sitting there, they might get annoyed. Do I give a shit? No. You're pulling along here. You got your flashers on now. You got your bright beams on. Are you more visible? You're darn right you're more visible. Okay? And that's all it's about. I don't care what I look like. Well, I don't drive a Harley. I drive a Goldwing. So that lets you know I don't give a crap what people think. I'm out for safety. And a Goldwing's a safe bike. Okay? And it's got those flashers. All right? So that's what I do. I flasher, I high beam, and then I go on and I slow down. And everybody tells you that. And you hear it at every safety course. Slow down. If you're approaching an intersection, slow down. Cover up. What's cover up mean? You cover up your foot brake, your pedal back pedal. You're covering up your clutch. You're covering about your arm. Am I getting my hand ready to blow the horn and, if somebody pulls out in front of me? Hell no. I'm covering up my clutch with my left hand, my handle brake with my right hand, and my foot's on my brake when I'm coming through any intersection, and I'm slowing down until I know that it's clear. We'll talk more about intersections later, but that's just a couple of things, guys. I'm going to talk a lot more about different scenarios. And here's one more for you before I end this first section here. This is classic, man. And this is crazy because I don't really ever think that I thought about this when I first used to ride back in my teens and my early 20s. It never occurred to me that this could even happen. So here's a situation where you got a turning lane. Again, primitive as hell here, guys. But here's your turning lane, okay? Here's your lane over here. You got 2 cars right here. They both got their turn signal on. This guy's going to turn in. He wants to turn in here. And say this guy, and people don't think about this, he's lined up right behind. You might be riding along here thinking, okay, this guy, no problem, he sees me. This guy's going to have a harder time seeing you, especially if you're not taking my advice and staying in the part of a lane that you're most visible. But say you're riding right here. This guy probably doesn't even see you, okay? But this guy may see you, and he's turning in and say he's turning into fast food. Let's say this guy, he doesn't want to go to fast food. There's several openings here. There's businesses all along here. Here's a driveway. Here's a driveway. This guy might be stopped to turn into fast food. This guy's back here. He's going to turn into the club. All right. So you think, well, this guy sees me and this guy's stacked up behind me. Well, this guy isn't going to wait. This guy sees you and he's stopped, but this guy don't care. He's turning. Okay. He's going into the club. What happens? You know what happens. Wham. Okay. So be aware if there's more than one turn spot or more than one driveway coming into this lane, and I just hate lanes like this. The safest place, in my opinion, the highway. Why? There's no intersecting roads. Nothing's coming in. I hate country roads, man. Country roads, there's a deer can pop out if you don't have any. I drove around in Michigan. There was about 6 feet before the woods started on each side. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen. You know, I'm doing 25 miles an hour just waiting for that deer to pop.